You had a front row seat to COP28, which you were able to also bring into your understanding of climate change and into that chapter. Obviously, a big issue. Perhaps a little bit of a summary of where we are. How optimistic, pessimistic. What are the challenges around climate change that we need to be thinking about?
First, just a word on how I ended up with that front row seat. I have been working for the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. That my time with the bank is coming to an end actually in this month, in January. And they had asked if I would consider being seconded to COP28, which of course the Secretariat was here in Abu Dhabi and it was held in Dubai. And I thought it was a tremendous opportunity to learn a lot about climate change that I didn't know. So it was great. One of the things that I learned was that this is an industry, right? The study of climate change is an industry, trying to get our hands around it, trying to make progress in this area is really, really important. We have the same sort of challenges here on a legislative basis, and then the whole thing is quite politicized. But we were able to make some real progress at COP28. What climate change is really all about at the end of the day is human suffering. It's about our ability to manage the planet. But at the end of the day, big part of the reason why we have so few climate deniers anymore is that more and more people are suffering as a result of climate change, which has helped focus minds. We are making progress. It's not nearly fast enough. But I think with all of the regular catastrophes that happen around the world, and there's numerous examples in any given month or year that I think people are familiar with, whether it's the record-setting ocean temperature in Florida or the record-setting summer temperatures in Europe. All of these things collectively have been seared into our psyche. So the minds have been focused now, which is good. The problem is that we're devoting, even as significant as some of the resources are, we're devoting resources in the billions for what ultimately is a multi-trillion-dollar problem. And I'm of the view, unfortunately, that we have really no chance of containing the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees centigrade. We're already almost there. And the world just keeps getting hotter and hotter no matter what it is that we do. So I think now people are talking about 2.5, 3 degrees centigrade, double what our original objective was. We have no idea what the real impacts of these are going to be. But I can tell you that the small island developing states, many of the coastal financial centers, these are the places that are going to feel it the most ultimately. And if you think about how many cities around the world are coastal financial centers and what impact it would have on everybody in the world if those centers became flooded and or uninhabitable. The magnitude of the problem is almost hard to believe.
Yes, and again, we can start to see some of the interconnectivity as well, because we have a chapter on migration. And when you start to look at not just coastal cities and financial centers, but the amount of people who are under or will be under water stress, for example, in the next 20 years, 15 to 20 years, that's 5.4 billion people will be under water stress. In other words, not having access to clean, potable water, drinkable water. 3.5 billion will be facing food insecurity in the next 15 years or so. Those are the kinds of things that create mass migrations. Those are the kinds of things that put strain on relations between states and raises the prospect of violent conflict. So until we start to get a grip on some of these things, we are going to see more of these flare-ups in and around the world in a variety of contexts.